morning, all. It's nice to have you all here again today. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. But right here where I am is morning, so good morning. It's nice to have you all here again. Today I'm going to be making red bell pepper sauce, what we usually call Ayamase. But it's a combination of red bell pepper, habanero hot peppers, and onions. That's what we basically use for this sauce. But before I start, I'm going to fry some of the meats I'm going to be using. As you can see me doing now, I have the tripe, the cow leg, and the goat meat. That's what I'm going to be using for this recipe. So I'm frying it a little bit now. But before I started frying the meat, I bleached. Like I said, I bleached the palm oil a little bit before I started frying the meat. Sometimes, if you like, you can mix palm oil and vegetable oil, but I use just palm oil. You can see I'm taking out the meat right now. After taking out the meat, I'm gonna start frying my onions. But just to put it out there, for this recipe, they usually use a lot of oil because it needs oil to fry the bell peppers very well. But personally, I don't like using too much oil for my food. So I use the minimum oil that I can because this is going to be a lot of sauce. So as you can see, at the end of the day, you will notice that we don't have extra oil popping out of the sauce. This is the onions frying now. I'm going to fry the onions for about 2 to 3 minutes. After frying the onions a little bit, I'm going to add what we call locust beans. As you can see, the onions is still frying while I'm getting my iru ready. That's locust beans. In a few minutes now, the locust beans is going to come in. Oh, as you can see, this is my locust beans. I just put a handful of it. Just give it a quick stir. Allow for 1 minute, approximately 1 to 2 minutes. This process allows it to bring out its flavor into the oil. At this time, once you add your locust beans into your oil, oh my gosh, you can't imagine the kind of flavor that it gives to this recipe. You can't skip this recipe. You can't skip this process. Then this is crayfish I'm adding to it. Crayfish is the shrimp, the small shrimps, the dried ones. I just blended it and added to it. I just fried that for about 30 seconds to 1 minute. Then I add my bell peppers. As you can see, I already blended the bell pepper behind the camera. So I just added all that. And the bell pepper, like I said, it's a mixture of bell peppers, habanero pepper, and onions. If you like garlic, you can add it to your recipe. But I skipped garlic for this particular recipe. So you continue to stir it at intervals so it doesn't get burnt. After stirring, you leave it for a while. Then you come back to it at intervals so that it doesn't get burnt. You don't want to have a burnt sauce. Just give it some time to fry before you start adding other of the ingredients. Give it a while to fry. After a couple of minutes, then you start adding the other stuff like the cow leg, the meats, and the tribe. It depends on what you want to use. It depends on your choice. You can use chicken. And this is my spice I'm adding now. My spice cube. That's what I'm adding now. After adding my spice, I'll just give it a quick stir so that everything combines. Just continue to stir it at intervals and make sure it's on medium heat, because if it's on a very high heat, it's going to burn, and you don't want to have a sauce that will be smelling burnt. That would not be nice. Then now I'm just bringing in the meats, the combination of cow leg, goat meat, and the tribe, whichever choice of protein you have. Just bring it in at this time. Give it a good stir so everything combines properly. Then you leave it for a couple of minutes to mix up properly together. Then behind the camera, I already made some boiled eggs. I already boiled some eggs. Allow it to cool down, and I took the shell out of the eggs. Then when I have about 3 minutes for my sauce to get ready, I'm going to add the boiled eggs. And this sauce, you can eat it with a variety of stuff. You can use it with rice. You can use it with potatoes. You can use it with your plantain. Whatever you feel like eating with it. It's so good. And bell pepper is vegetables. Now I'm adding my dried onions. I usually like adding my dried onions to my sauces. It gives it this yummy fragrance. Oh, then this is also my fish, what we call whitening fish. I just stirred it properly to make sure it's not burning. Then I'm adding my whitening fish to it, and my eggs is going to come in last. Once I add my egg, then in another 2 to 3 minutes, my sauce is ready to serve. Oh, I tasted it. I just noticed I needed a little bit of more salt, so I just added a little bit. Just add your salt according to your taste. This is my boiled egg. I'm going to give it a good stir for everything to combine, so the egg marries the sauce, including the fish, the spices, everything comes together. I give it a good stir. Just cover it for a couple of minutes. Then you are ready to go. At this time, the fragrance that is coming out of my house is something else. Please support my channel, subscribe, like, and share. Thank you so much for watching. Hope to see you next time again.